Right, there we go. We're live.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our. What was that?
I just accepted an offer on a bag.
We just had an offer on a. What is that? A retro boho bag.
Yeah, it's a macrame bag.
Oh, the white one. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Hello, everybody.
Happy days. Today's been terrible for sales.
Yeah.
So that'll help.
It's been like that, I don't know, last week or so.
Yeah, I don't know how everyone else is doing, but our sales have dipped quite dramatically for us. Partly because our listing efforts have dropped as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been concentrating on listing on other platforms and haven't listed a lot on eBay.
Yeah,
if ever.
But I think,
if anything, I don't think I've listed anything last week on eBay.
I think also the trend was when we went into lockdown, everybody kind of, I think, turned to the internet to get stuff. And now they've got all the stuff they need, maybe.
Yeah, and obviously things are changing now. People are going back to work and the sun's out, so people are out either in their gardens or gone picnicking. So
yeah,
it's understandable.
So if you've got paddling pools.
We were just trying to work out whether we'd actually talked about boot sales last week. We think we probably did.
But there we are. It's what's on our minds. So yeah, anyway, we didn't properly say hello. Hello, welcome. If you're new here, we are, well, I am Nick and this is...
I am Andrea, but it doesn't say my name.
I still haven't changed that. Yeah, and we sell stuff on the internet. That's our business, and this channel follows what we get up to, how we do that.
Oh no, it said reselling on eBay UK haul.
You had a haul
last week? Well,
sort of a tiny haul.
We had a little bit of a haul last week. The title wasn't, so we're not boring you twice with the same subject.
Well, I'd like to know what other people are thinking about boot sales, really. We'll get into that in a sec. We
did talk about it on Seller Ladies, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is on Heather's channel. So if you missed that, go across to Treasure Pirate. That was Seller Ladies from last week. And we talked about how we're feeling about boot sales starting up again, etc.
Yeah, so we're going to touch on that again, I think, because we don't have a haul. Normally, these Sunday shows take the format of sharing some goodies that we may have picked up during the week or the weekend. Of course, we are still here in the UK on lockdown of sorts. It's slowly the restrictions are being lifted, although I fear they may be put back in place. The way people are treating the restrictions being lifted. You've all seen the pictures on the news and stuff.
Probably shouldn't look at Twitter because it's full of all kinds of opinions. But I was looking at Twitter earlier and they're saying, oh, the NHS think there's going to be a second wave in... Sorry, am I not loud enough, dear?
I thought I moved the mic, that's all.
I think there's going to be a second wave in July, and then it's not going to be good through July and August. And I don't know.
Nobody knows, really.
So my question is, and I'd like to know what other people think, is it worth, if you've got the stock, if you've got enough stock to keep going, is it worth going to boot sales and putting yourself at risk? I don't know. I know that you want to go. But the question, I don't know. I mean, we have probably enough stock to keep us going. I don't know. I don't know whether it's worth risking things or whether, we're going to have a mask on, we're going to take precautions, and I'm going to make sure you stay away from people, even if you forget yourself. So,
well, this is the point.
If you're taking the precautions and you're being careful, let me finish my questions. If you're taking the precautions and being careful, do people think it's okay? I don't know.
So I was going to say, we are live. If you're new to this format, you can interact. You can say hello and put your answers to these questions or give us your thoughts. So let's say a few hellos. I can't get back to the beginning, so I don't know who was first in. We've got Aaron and Ian and Ken, Jason. There's Peter. Now, speaking of microphones before, this is our old one, our current one right now, but
it's a blue snowball, but it's actually black.
And Pete has upgraded to a fancy mic and kindly did me a deal on his old mic, which is a step up from this. It's kind of, this one's kind of step up, same company. So hopefully that'll be here tomorrow maybe, or Tuesday, and we'll have a play with that. Okay, let's see if I scroll down and see if anyone's giving their opinions. Is anyone definitely going? Is anyone definitely not going to go when boot sales start? Okay, Welsh Wonderneer, welcome, says, I don't know how car boot organisers can enforce social distancing. You can't really enforce it, can you? You can't tell everybody and monitor everybody. So you're going to have to do it for yourself, and tell people to back off if they get in your face and stuff. But we all know what car boot sales can be like, right? It can be a bit of a scrum. I mean, they're not as bad as jumble sales. A jumble sale just couldn't happen socially distanced. Let's be honest. It just
it wouldn't,
right?
No, that wouldn't happen.
But
plus,
at least
it's inside, and you're not really supposed to.
Yeah.
Have that inside at the moment. But
at a car boot sale, there is plenty of space in theory, so we should be able to navigate around each other. But it depends on what the people are like and whether people adhere to it. And that remains the big question, really. How are people going to deal with it? I have no idea. Aaron's saying the one I usually go to says it's on next week. Not quite sure what to expect. So are you going to go? Are you just going to jump in and see what it's like?
Ours says it starts next Sunday.
Well, one of the ones. Have you looked at the others then?
They all do the countryside promotions.
That's Hatfield.
It's Hatfield and it's Stanberfields.
That is Hatfield.
Well, they were anyway.
It's the same one.
That's a conversation.
So we know about one.
But no, it does say Hatfield, and then it says Stanberfields on their list.
Yeah.
Of ones that are reopening.
Oh, is there a separate one in Hatfield?
I don't know. I'll have to look at it later. But that's what it said. But I can't remember what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, they said they were going to post like rules and stuff that they're going to think about during the week. So we've got to sort of
I saw that. I don't know what rules they're going to impose. I mean, Diane said there, no one allowed on without a mask. I mean, that might be a general rule they could impose. There is a way to do car boots safely, but if you can't do them the same size as before, so you're talking about spacing the cars out more.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to do.
I think bigger lane wise, normally you have rows of cars, right? I think if those lane sizes are sort of half again or doubled, so that where we walk up and down, we have like double the space, that would make that a lot easier.
And I think because when we go in, usually we quite often go straight to the back where it's, there aren't so many people anyway. So maybe that's a good idea to do. And just to keep away from the ones where people are crowding round. Yeah.
Yeah, normally how it goes at a car boot is the dealers and people in general will cluster around those kind of honey hole stalls, right? So obviously we will just give that a wide berth. If people are piling in together, it would just be crazy to get involved in that.
Yeah. I think you've just got to realise that if we lose the bargains, we lose the bargains. Just go for the things that are available to us.
Yeah. Hi there, F&S resellers. Who's ready for the boot sales? Well, that's the question we're posing, really. Who does feel ready in the current climate to actually jump back in? Who is definitely not? We are thinking we might go and find out what it's like and then assess it from there. Hi Lex, I was chatting to Lex earlier. I had lots of plans for today, things I wanted to get done, and how many of those things have I achieved?
I don't know. You spent most of it in bed.
0, but I did shave my badger beard off. So one of the things.
But it's fine. It's Sunday. You're allowed to have a day
That's-
off on Sunday.
That's what Lex said.
Yeah, exactly.
So I felt better after that. Yeah. Jason, I'm lucky I don't need stock. This is the other thing, isn't it? If you are desperate for stock, let's say you're full-time like us, you didn't have a crazy backlog like we were lucky to, and like Jason clearly has, and you need the stock. I guess then it's the element of risk in there is well worth taking, perhaps in that instance. I think where Andrea is, it's like, do we even need to go at all if we don't need the stock? And that's, I think, the question everyone has to answer for themselves.
Because I think we're all the same. You know, we're all missing it. We all want to, you know, go and find those treasures and, you know, the tat
quality treasure. Merchandise.
You know, we want to, but at the same time, you know, the reality of it is very different at the moment.
Yeah, Pete would like a car boot. I think we're all in that boat, Pete. And he says he's not had one since the 1st of September because weather was bad. That's a long time. I don't know when we last went.
It was probably, actually, to be honest, about the same. I don't know. We might have done a couple of jumble trails and things in between.
We've done jumbles and maybe the odd garage trail thing, jumble trail. But boot sales, we didn't do much sourcing last year anyway because we were trying to clear the backlog at that point. And then we had this forced lockdown and we actually got on with it and achieved quite a lot. Okay, let's see. I know I'm way behind in the chat. I'll apologize for that. But Ken, the car boots can space the stalls out. They can control the public parking and the buyers going in, but after that, they have no control. It will be a scrum. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? We can't really picture what it's going to be like. How courteous are the other buyers and sellers going to be?
Yeah, and we just have to, as individuals, you know, be sensible about it. If there is some kind of stupid scrum, we keep away from it. I was just thinking though about what I was saying about going to the stalls that don't have so many people around. If they enforce a one-way system, then we're a bit stuck.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't do that.
A one-way system wouldn't. I suppose their logic might be that a one-way system would help with people being face-to-face when they're walking up and down the aisles.
Yeah.
Who knows? They might employ a one-way system, which would be a bit of a pain.
Yeah, I kind of hope they don't. I think it'd be better if they don't, because people will spread out more.
If they spread the cars so you've got a row of cars here like that. If they spread them out enough, if they've got a big enough venue, some of the ones we go to have massive, great fields, and you can wander up and down that way as well as lengthways. That would be great. You know, or you see a crowd of people coming, you can nip between the cars easily. If they had like a car, at least a car's length, and then another car, you can crisscross and avoid people a lot easier.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, if they let everybody in at the same time and they make you go one way, you're pretty much queuing for the same stalls.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be such a good thing. Whereas if they don't enforce a one-way system, at least you can head to the back of the thing or the other side or
Gary says it won't work. Too much pushing and going into people's boots before they unload. This is the fear, isn't it? That people aren't going to go the extra mile and give people the space that they need.
Well, we've never done that anyway. We don't like that.
No, we're not. We don't tend to be the ones that are jumping in the back of car boots. It's not our thing necessarily. I do like to get in the mix of it from the other side of a stall once they're all set up. But obviously now we will be being that bit more cautious and not being shoulder to shoulder with people. I think it's going to be a kind of suck it and see thing, really. We'll go, and if your anxiety is through the roof and we can't handle it, then we perhaps say no, or we just have to really take a step back and avoid people as much as we can.
I've been having a word with myself today and deciding that I really just need to try and, think as positively as
Hi, James.
possible about everything, and
Yeah.
and to try to not be as anxious about things. And
I think Carla had some good words of wisdom when you were chatting with her on the live, and get in your head that it's not like you're walking out into a fog of virus. But in social situations, you just have to be cautious.
Yeah.
But I think at the moment we are thinking we're going to go and test the water, right?
Go and have a look.
Hi, James. Good to see you. We're so far behind in this chat.
I think a couple of people have been
Hi,
saying
Ashley.
that their boot sales are saying that they can't touch the items. They have to ask if they touch it, they have to buy it, basically. So they have to ask for an item or look at it and then ask the seller to pass it to them, and then they have to buy it because they've touched it.
Yeah, I completely forgot to do hellos and shout outs, and I forgot last week, so I've got a list.
You better do that then.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. So quickly before we move on, Brian and his wife, don't have his wife's name, would like a shout out. They bought a PC game from us, which has been shipped out. So thank you very much to Brian and wife. My hay fever is through the roof today. We've been out walking, and I think there's tree pollen everywhere. So excuse me. So yeah, thank you very much, Brian and wife. Sophie bought Simpsons Road Rage. Thank you for the purchase. Selena bought some more CDs. She's bought loads of CDs over the last couple of years from us, and a big music fan. And a bag of yours.
It wasn't my bag. I have a bag identical to it. But I found another one at the boot sale, and
the Mickey Mouse one.
It's a Mickey Mouse. bag.
Yeah. And then quickly, just thank yous. Did I have any more shout outs to do? Not really. So Russ bought some cubes. James bought some magic cards. Charlotte bought another bag. Been doing well on bags. Is that because you've been listing bags? Yes, there we go. So you get it listed, it will sell. Kane bought some magic. Natalie bought some magic. These are Magic the Gathering cards. Niall again bought some magic. Georgina Gill, who I don't know if she's in, bought the Bakugan thing for her son, I believe. John bought some Nike boots, a private sale we arranged, which was great. Alex bought some magic cards. Alex, a big bundle of he bought. And I think I'm up to date. Apologies if I've missed anyone. Right, okay. Oh, it's going to jump. There it goes.
Jumped right to the bottom.
Yeah. I wish they'd fixed this.
Yeah. I would be more keen to go to a jumble trail now, though. Now that I know that we're allowed.
Now that we've missed the one last weekend.
Yes, but we weren't supposed to be going to one at that point, and it felt too soon. But now that open air markets are allowed, it feels more, I think there would probably be better for social distancing than car boots, to be honest. Do you?
Yeah. A jumble trail would probably be a better setup to avoid crowds of people. What have you sold?
No, that's one we picked up together. It was up there. Is it not up there anymore?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the Marks and Spencer spaghetti jar. The
is that sold? Yeah, it's here.
I don't know if that was someone in the chat.
I also sold this. I just sold that. I really kind of regretted buying it after I did. I think we were at a jumble. Was it a jumble?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything. Ended up buying that just because it's Harvest, which has a bit of a collector's market. But it cleaned up really well, and I put it on for. I think I initially put it on at $12.99 with shipping, and sent out offers at a tenner with shipping. So it's not great, but I think I paid 50p, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That's been sat on the shelf for about a year.
It's not something we'd pick up again, but
no.
Yeah.
And then this sold yesterday, I think it was. It's just a little LSA Krosno, really cool little kind of bud vase. And it's sold on GSP. It's going to Italy. Is it?
Yeah.
No, Portugal.
Yeah, because we were wondering if they'd actually pay for it, and they did.
So they've paid our shipping and the international GSP shipping. I don't know how much that was. It's only a £6 vase. I took an offer of £6 on it. So yeah, that's got to make it all the way to. No, was it? It was Portugal, wasn't it?
I think it was Portugal.
So that'll be a fun.
Because they didn't pay for a while, and I said, I wonder if they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. B says, will people want to go to car boot sales to sell their items? You see, that is a good question. Will it just be traders?
Yeah, if it's really quiet with sellers, I would love to do one. We have so much stock to shift.
Mm.
And I'd probably feel that bit safer behind the stall because I can naturally distance myself that way. So yeah, if they're struggling for sellers, I think we should get in there and clear our load of stuff. I think that's an interesting question. Will the general public think that's a good idea to do right now? Go and sell, and it's the general public sellers that we tend to do best out of stock wise, and we all buy from dealers and do okay, I'm sure, but it's your average household clearing out stuff and wanting rid of it. That's where we get the gems, right? So perhaps there will be less of that, and it'll just be a field full of traders, and we'll be like, well, why did we bother? Yeah, interesting point there. Keith, we should not live in fear, but also should not take unnecessary risks.
Yeah.
Very well put. Yeah. I can't scroll back before that. So
that's the question, isn't it? Is a boot sale an unnecessary risk? Because then, Ray says that he's running out of stock, but can't see that they're worth the risk.
Yeah. And it's going to come down to your individual opinion on that and how desperate you are for stock, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's scroll down. Now, you put a link in for Ellen, did you, below?
Yes, and I was just thinking that because I was reading Tony's comment there.
Yeah. Now, can I just say, we don't normally get involved in kind of political things or whatever. We tend to veer away from that on this channel. But our daughter, Ellen, is very passionate about what's going on in America right now, and she's asked you to share. What are the links you've shared?
So below in our description box, there are some links to different petitions, to sign petitions, obviously to do with the George Floyd incident and what's going on in America, how the world is feeling about it at the moment, really. So if you're also feeling as passionate as Ellen, just take a look at the petitions. It takes 2 seconds to sign them. Most of them are change.org. So yeah, if you feel that you want to put your name to it, then the links are below. I promised Ellen that I would share it. She's obviously, she's been spending the last few days reading practically everything about it, and obviously feeling very upset and very passionate about the whole thing, as a lot of us are.
Yeah, so please check out those links if you can. Hi Lainey, good to see you. Says, I think the risk would be very low, and though you can't control what others do, you can control what you do. It's very true. Yeah, take all the precautions that make you feel safe and judge it when you're there. That's kind of where we're at, I think.
Yeah.
And if it's just too much, we walk away, or we work out how to manage that risk while we're there. But we will be wearing a face cover, which minimizes some of the risk, and it certainly stops us transferring if, God forbid, we have it. So yeah,
I didn't know, you pointed out to me that somebody had sent you some like proper masks, like ones with filters,
ages ago,
to do with your dust allergy.
I don't know where they are.
We're going to take those and use those ones.
I thought you ordered some from Karen.
Yes, haven't received them yet.
Okay.
Yes, but those ones have got filters, haven't they? So they're probably better to wear at the boot sale.
Yeah. Well, there's Vinny.
Hello, Vinny.
Excuse me.
He says, I just can't see the majority of people being safe at the boot sales. They can't even follow arrows in a supermarket.
That's very true. Yeah, I was in a supermarket. I've not really been to supermarkets. We've been using corner shops and stuff and local shops where we can.
Yeah, we shop online as much as possible.
And shop online for our main shop. But I ended up in Asda for the first time in a couple of months. And you're right. They had a system where you had to go up and down the aisles. Nobody was following that at all.
My uncle got told off quite severely because he tried to go back because he'd forgotten something. Yeah.
Good to see you, Vinny. Hope you're well. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. BCP is in. Charity shops, don't bother unless you are first in the queue, 4 in, 4 out.
Right.
I don't know how. I assume charity shops are going to manage it all differently. I don't know if they're going to have that imposed by the government, how they're going to have to operate. Because non-essential shops are opening, is it from next week or after that?
About the 15th, I think, charity shops.
Oh, it's a couple of weeks.
Well, that's when non-essential retail can open.
That's what I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that remains to be seen how charity shops are going to manage it. And whether they do have, I think people are imagining they're going to have endless stock because they've been stockpiling it.
Yeah. So Hugh says, I'm spraying everything with 70% proof alcohol.
Wow.
I think what we will do is quarantine the stock for.
We'll leave it all in the car for a few days.
Yeah.
In the scorching sun.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, if we might take the big car and leave all of the stock in the car if we buy anything or much at all, and then just bring it out. We're in no rush. Bring it out of the car a few days later, because the generally perceived thing is that it can't survive for more than 2 or 3 days on a surface, right?
Well, they say 72 hours, which is 3 days, up to 7 days. So I don't know. I tend to be overly cautious and quarantine all I post for 7 days.
7 days. I've been ordering like CDs for my collection and stuff, and it's like they sit in Andrea's office with a date on that I'm allowed to open it. Right? Hi, David. In a perfect world, you'd have 1 or 2 stewards per row of cars to make sure rules are being followed. Yeah. I can't see that. Can't see that happening at a boot sale. They may. I mean, some of the well-organised ones we go to do have quite a few stewards around to direct traffic for the car park particularly and stuff. So they may have enough to have perhaps one at the end of a row or every other row or something. But I don't know. Yeah, managing people. I mean, I've had a little bit of experience from my days in the police force, kind of organising people and managing people, and it's so difficult. It's like herding cats. People are just like, they don't want to go where you tell them. No. And tricky. You have to rely, hi Kim, you have to rely on individual sense. Yeah, but not everyone's sensible.
That's the thing. We went for a walk in the woods yesterday, and then it brings us out into like a big park. So we sat in the park and had a picnic, and there was a group of 3 girls who obviously were friends, not sisters.
Yeah.
Not socially distanced.
Well, they all sat on the same kind of little blanket.
Yeah, and then we saw a group of young lads, probably early 20s, all walking down, about 5 or 6 of them, all with their crates of beer, very close to each other, not socially distancing at all. There were a couple of families, massive groups of families, way more than 6. And it looked like there were 2 groups of the same family, and they were socially distanced, these 2 groups, but there was way more than 6 people there. And you just look around and you think, this is the problem. This is the problem right here.
Well, it remains to be seen, but I predict this spike that some people have predicted is coming will come. And then it'll be interesting to see the government try and rein in the restrictions again, rein us all back in. You know what I mean? That would be like, oh, yeah, good luck with that. Andrew Cole, welcome. He says, I sell records, CDs and DVDs. Oh, my kind of guy. So people have to touch to check things. I'm going to supply disposable gloves for customers to rummage freely. Wow. Okay. Yep. Interesting. Hi, Neil. Breaking Bad hazmat suit time. I look forward to seeing the pictures of you at the boot sale, Neil.
If I could, I would.
Reseller Kid, there is a one-way system for boot sales. Well, maybe some will implement that, or has that been deemed from above as the way to go?
Don't know.
Don't know what the precautions will be.
But I actually think that's not necessarily a good idea.
Rosie again asking the question: will many sellers turn up?
Mm.
Can you imagine if, like, for our one that we're thinking of going to, there might be sometimes in the height of summer, there's a couple of hundred people queuing to get in. If we don't get there as early as we like to, we are like 100th in the queue, aren't we? It's crazy at the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that much volume? And there's only like one little row of cars, and then trying to police all of those people around a few cars. We need there to be loads of stalls to spread us out.
We'll probably get there early to queue, and then maybe we'll just decide when we're standing there whether it's worth going in.
Yeah.
Yes, Ryan, you are absolutely right. That's kind of how I've been feeling today, that all I'm doing is just working myself up, and obviously we need to be sensible.
Yeah.
But there's no point in getting fearful and working ourselves up about things. So it just makes us feel terrible.
Yeah, living in fear isn't helpful, but being sensible is the way to go.
Yeah.
The aisles won't be double-sided.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's clever, because that does make it quite busy on the aisles when the stalls are face to face. Yeah, so you've only got, and then if they do make it one way as well, that means everyone's going the same way up the aisles.
Yeah,
there's things they can put in place,
but if you can't go backwards, you see, if you skip ahead to one because there's hardly any people there, that means you can't go backwards to the one when people disperse.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you just stand there and wait for people to move, but then you miss out on the stuff ahead of you?
It's not going to be ideal. Whatever they do, it won't be ideal, right? But we just have to find a way. Lisa J, welcome. Instead of stalls on both sides of an aisle, just have stalls on one side, like we just said. Yep, 20 foot between each car, ideal. See, then you could switch through lanes quite easily.
Yeah. Well, perhaps if there is one way and there's a gathering of people, we have to just decide, is there anything there that we particularly want? If not, just move on.
Daryl says, it depends on your own moral well-being. If you feel confident, then do. If you're in any doubt, then no. Remember, others do not have your morals and will not respect yours. Okay. Well, that's the big unknown, isn't it? What everyone else is going to be like in that situation. We've not experienced crowds for 2 months. Yeah. For a good reason, right?
Yeah. So Ryan says that it's good for the immune system to not be stressed.
Being stressed is a double whammy.
I recognise that. Yeah, totally.
Liam says the only way possible, I think, is to limit people going in to the point where one in, one out. But how early do you need to get there at that point? If say it's only 100 in, then one in, one out. Yeah, that's blimey. That would be, for a really busy boot sale, that just wouldn't be manageable, I don't think.
It wouldn't be. And then people would kick off because they'd say, it's not fair. It's not fair that he gets first dibs and everything.
You'd have to be there. Imagine how competitive that would be to be one of the first in. You'd have to be there like 3 hours before and just sit there with a sleeping bag and a cup of coffee. Who knows,
camp
right?
out for the night.
Who knows? And at that point, you think, well, it's just not worth. But this is just crazy. That if it's anything like that sort of chaos, I think we'd just be like, well, forget that. We'll just go in the loft sourcing again, right?
I've still got plenty of clothes to go.
Yeah. What happened to clearing the backlog? We avoid the scrums normally. Anyway, always a fear of halitosis and BO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have that natural crowd disperser.
I can't remember who it was that was saying that they've got a friend who actually sprays themselves with a bad smell.
Yeah,
so that people stay away from them.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
Somebody said that they know somebody who, God knows what they spray on them.
Is that on celluloid? That was something.
I don't know.
Oh, I've got a terrible memory.
I was in the post office. I think I told you I was dropping off a couple of sacks of mail. I think it was last Wednesday, and I've got to blow my nose again. Bear with.
There we.
And I had to wait for a lady to come out. They're limiting people in the post office, which is also a shop, to 2 people at any time. So I had to wait for this particular lady to come out. And she came towards me. I gave her plenty of space. She came out of the door. I went in. And then I smelt her in the space she was in before she left. And I went round to the counter. I know the guys in there quite well. And he's behind there, and he gave me a look, and he got out, as we used to have, he got out his can of air freshener and just blasted the shop.
The amount of times I used to like try and subtly walk around our shop going, psh, psh, psh.
I used to follow them around.
Some people used to look like, oh. It's like, sorry, just
as a shop owner, the worst thing is like a very, very smelly and we're not talking BO, we're talking like just don't wash your clothes, don't change your clothes, and the smell is horrific. So they'd be there buying their stuff, and they tend to be the slowest people in the world as well for some reason. So they're there forever, and they leave a cloud of haze of this smell.
My goodness.
They walk off, and then another customer comes up, and you can see in their face they think it's you.
Yeah, I think I might have said this before, but the worst one was one guy. He was like the worst smelling customer I've ever had.
I know who you mean.
And he was in on a very hot Saturday once, and it was just awful. And I literally watched a woman walk in the shop, recoil, and walk out again because it stank so bad. Oh, yeah.
One thing I don't miss about retail, that is could limit how many enters the car boot. We were just talking about that. I think that would be hard to manage. I mean, they may try that, but I don't know. I mean,
maybe 10 at a time, depending on the size of it.
What, 10 people in the car boot at any one time?
I don't know.
That's like hardly anyone. And those 10 people can stay there as long as they like before they leave. They just pick everything. They pick it dry and then come out.
Exactly.
I mean, who knows, right? This is the question. This is what we wanted to talk about. Haggis Lover, the ones I know that are opening have all said it will be a one-way system.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking lots of tapes to keep people in line and one way. Courtesy at a boot sale, dog eat dog. Well, that's what it's normally like, right? Courtesy is sometimes non-existent.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think people will be accepting cash. Most people don't have those sort of machines.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good thing about how we're going to pay. Hi, Aaron. Good to see you. I assume cash will be discouraged and sellers will be encouraged to use contactless, iZettles and Square, etc. Most average Joes won't have that for sure. But I think the one thing we can do is if we can get hold of it, we thankfully do have a pot full of change here. Take pockets full of 50p's and pounds. So you're not having to wait for change and take change back from someone, and you can just put your 50p down and walk away, right?
Yeah.
So that's something you can actively do, I think, to minimize that interaction.
See, I was thinking,
how much is that? Not touching it, right? 50p. Oh, okay, here's a 50p, and you put the 50p, drop it over there. They pick it up, you pick up your thing, right? So minimal interaction.
Yeah. I was thinking about when, if and when we do one, having a pot, like a money box pot type thing. And we just, do that, and they put it in the pot. So we just say it has to be correct change, and they put it in the pot. So we don't have to touch that for a while.
Yeah, maybe.
So we're not actually handling the money.
Lainey thinks they must have things in place that allow them to open, or no one will go back again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. if it's chaos and it doesn't work, yeah, people just won't turn up the next week.
Yeah.
And that may be what happens. Or the sellers just won't turn up. This is the other thing. This will be interesting. Hi, Charmaine.
Hi there.
It's my first time watching your live show, thinking about selling some things around my house on eBay after stumbling onto some of your videos. Good. And that's the best place to start. Have a clear out, make some money, see if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Get used to how eBay works, get used to shipping and the postal service, make all the mistakes that we all made when we started. And then if you enjoy it, maybe start buying to resale if that's something you fancy. But yeah, having a clear out on eBay is a great way to make money. Hello,
hi, Kelly.
Hello, Kelly.
Kelly's been on a lovely walk today. Looked like a lovely place.
Shadow Balloon Twister, nice name. Yeah, they think not many sellers and lots of buyers will turn up. And that is the worst case scenario when you think about it. Let's say you've only got 20 stalls and all of us resellers are like gagging to be there. So there's like 200 buyers. How are you going to manage that?
I don't know. We're just going to have to assess it when we get there.
If we turn up and because the one we go to, they let everybody set up and then they wait until like 10 at this
10 o'clock this one.
And then then the doors are open and we all pay to go in.
Yeah.
And if we're there and there's hundreds of buyers and there's only one row, I think we'd just go home because it will just be chaos. Way too many buyers per buyer to stall ratio is too high, so you're not going to get much anyway. And in order to get it, you are going to put yourself in a big throng of people.
Yeah. This could be the time to organise our jumble trail.
Get on it. Yeah, that's a good thing, actually. We didn't go to, there was a jumble trail in a village nearby. Neil, who's in, did go. We elected not to in the end. I was quite keen, but we decided
it was
wasn't
before
happening.
The open markets were allowed, and I don't know, it just felt it was too soon.
And I think that is a better way to sell stuff. Basically individual stalls at houses, if you don't know what we're talking about, and then you produce a map and you let people know where all the stalls are. So you can drive around in your car, keep socially isolated, or you can walk it. And then the likelihood of there being many people at a stall at any one time is usually really low. If you've seen our videos about jumble trails, generally we're at a stall on our own.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's another family there and you could just wait for them to do their business and go.
Yeah, there's not a scrum, it's not a free for all. It's
so I would encourage people to organize your own jumble trails. Just even if it's just on your estate or your street. You could do it with a leaflet drop quite easily. People are already putting out stuff at the front of their houses and giving it away. I think if you put the thought in people's minds, they'd have a stall, and if you organise it so your whole street, or like say your whole village or town on the same day, they're not actually that hard to organise with the power of Facebook now. And apparently Andrea's organising one locally. So we'll look forward to that.
I think we are, not just me.
We've been threatening to do it for the last 2 years. Husty's Emporium says you don't need a one-way system at a boot sale. They are big enough spaces as it is, which sounds like certainly some organisers are taking that route. No, we've done really well, way better than we thought we would at this point. I was buying them with a mind to Christmas, and we sold well over a quarter, if not a third of them. Yeah. So we're quite pleased.
Liam is talking about. It's crazy. I saw a picture of the M3. It was like a car park today. It's like insane.
Place is absolutely rammed. Just to sit on some sand. Yeah, that does seem crazy. But I think it makes sense because everyone's kind of got this pent up, I want to go out. I want, but everyone's like champing at the bit.
Again, we're talking about having some sense,
Yeah.
Crazy.
And again, if you're particularly worried, just don't go. Exactly. And that's a decision. That's an individual decision for everyone.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go assess it, have a look for ourselves, because you don't know unless you go,
Mhm.
do
Yep,
you? So
yep. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. Hi, Susan.
is
Okay.
that Sue Count one? You don't watch Carla's live on a Sunday, do you?
Not very often, no.
Right.
And that is the issue that we've touched on. There is not always a lot of self-restraint at car boot sales. I would like to think that the majority of people will be very conscious of it right now. But there's exceptions. There's always that one idiot, and that's all it takes, right? Yeah, and again, Ray, that's the unanswered question. How many stalls are actually going to be there? Is it even worth talking about? Is anyone going to turn up to sell? I think the traders will, and most of them we can't get the sort of stuff we want from. So
yeah, I'll be absolutely honest. I think if it was just up to me, if it wasn't the two of us, I would probably hold back and wait for a while.
I'm intrigued to go and find out and see what the lay of the land is, really. Let's make a little video about our experience of the day and share that with you and just see, and then we can report back on what we think.
Have you got a clip for your GoPro now?
Yeah.
So you can wear a backpack and clip it on?
Potentially, yeah. I haven't tried it out yet. And here's the thing. The other thing is I think it's going to be different for every boot sale, isn't it? The scale of the boot sales, the area you're in, how well it's been promoted, all of this stuff, it's all going to be different. I mean, some people might go next week and find it was fine. And not many people knew it was on or whatever, and it was quite relaxed. The one we're going to is promoting. They're telling everyone that, well, listen, we are back on, and I can see it being busy. So, yeah. Very old style diving bell helmet and diving suit is called for, with a person turning a big handle pumping air along a pipe whilst I walk around the boot sales. Sorted. Right, well, look out for Hugh.
Yeah. I weirdly had a really bad dream that Nick had been held captive by somebody, and they'd put him in one of those suits and put him in a water tank and was holding him captive in there.
This is what you dream of? Is this your fantasy?
No, it's not fantasy in the slightest. It was horrible. It was really evil, this person.
Vinny's saying you should see the beaches in Cornwall. I can imagine.
Gary says, if you go, we'll wave from a distance.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, if you do see us at the boot sales, just say hello and then go, because yeah, that's all we can do. Pete the Vinegar Jar sharing some statistics on stuff. I'm so far behind. Apologize. Ant likes to avoid people as much as I can on the regular. So yeah, well, yeah. See, lockdown. Some people have quite enjoyed lockdown, right? It's like, yes, I can finally be.
And the funny thing is, it's like, what do you mean we're going back to normal life? No, I quite like it like this.
Well, quite used to this now. Now it's going to be traumatic coming out.
I've got to go and see people now.
Oh. Okay. Let Nick go, and when he gets home, quarantine him in the garage with his tat.
Yeah. You'd be quite happy. A mattress down here. Yeah.
Should just put a little hatch in the door. Right, here's your dinner.
Yeah.
You're not coming out for another 2 days. Get it all listed. She'll be on this as an idea.
It's a great idea. Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, the toilets. Don't mention the toilets. Oh.
Well, I have to say, normally that's my last call before we go home. So I'm just going to have to cross my legs.
Hold it in.
Cross my legs.
Husty, it'll be fine. Mitigate the risk as much as you can and relax, and it will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're all going to we're going to make our minds up, aren't we, and do what suits us, and that's absolutely fine. G-Man Panthro is in. Hi. My bedroom is still overflowing with stock. So I've no desire to rush to any boot sales whenever they open up in Scotland. Oh, you're in Scotland. Cool. Jason thinks there will end up being lots of fights over people wanting the same items or people not giving people space. I predict the people not adhering to the distancing will cause rows. I wouldn't hesitate to turn to someone and say, back off, give me space. You know, if they're reaching over me or grabbing stuff right in front of me, just be like, just chill out, right? And in fact, I've done that before in regular times when someone's really right in my face, and I'm like, chill out. And I've had a row with someone just over that in regular times.
Yeah.
So I think tensions will be high, potentially, if people encroach on other space.
Definitely.
And rightfully so. There's nothing wrong with saying back off.
Yeah. See, Mr. B says, surely car boot sales are classed as mass gatherings. Well, you know what? I don't think, obviously, the people who put these things in place have even considered car boot sales, but they've not even thought about it.
Have they been to one?
The people that, I can't remember. You throw me off my thread now. But, the people that put these things in place, they've said open air markets. So then the car boot sale owners are saying, oh, we're an open air market. We'll open up then.
But an open air market is a mass gathering. They are often way more crowded than a boot sale.
Yeah.
If Hitchin Market is anything to go by, on a busy market day, you have to squeeze through people.
That is true.
And a good busy market is like that. You know, you picture like a popular fruit and veg stall at a market. We all know the place, you know, we're all laid out, a pound a punnet of this and that. There's always like 3 deep people clamoring. So if the government, they know what a market's like, so they must have some idea that what a boot sale's like, and their markets are just as busy, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Gimbal, no sign of them opening anytime soon here. To be honest, if they were to start next week, I wouldn't go. And to be honest, I can't see many sellers bothering in the first month at least. Yeah, apart from the traders who will be desperate to make some money.
But you see, they might have some bargains if it's, you know, vintage sellers and stuff.
The traders may be knocking their prices down just to make some money.
So we might get some nice bargains.
Yeah. And you have to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who earns a living from markets and car boot sales. I mean, perhaps they've been turning to eBay, you never know, but they've been waiting for this day. So they're going to be there. Lucy, think my first car boot will be June the 28th. Only one is confirmed. Wow.
Yeah, what Keith said.
What Keith said. Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, then just leave and go home. Yeah, I think we are intrigued and are going to go and be very cautious, and exactly what you say. If it is like that, we've got no problem walking away. Yeah. We'll try and film it for you first, and then we'll come away.
Might be a short video.
It might be a short video. We're going to a boot sale.
This is what it looks like.
Here we are.
We're going home.
Yeah, here's the queue.
Yeah.
And there's the 5 stalls. Bye. Yeah. Oh, hi, John. Good to see you. Right. Cash is made of plastic nowadays, easily wipeable. I guess so, yeah. A lot of transactions at boot sales are done with coins, which again are quite easy to clean, but you've got to handle stuff that other people have handled. Yeah, we will. Whether it's a waste of time or not, we'll try and film something. Sophie is liking your dress.
Charity shop find.
Neil says, private sellers, whilst they may have lots to sell, will be less likely and have less of an urgency to sell. So you may not get many sellers out. The risk may not be worth it to them. Yeah,
Mm.
that's the unanswered question.
Yeah,
Is your average Joe going to think, I know what's a good idea? We'll go and have a stall in the middle of a field
in the middle of a pandemic.
during a pandemic? Possibly not.
Does sound like madness, doesn't it?
Which harks back to organising your own local jumble trail, which I think is way more easy to manage. And yeah. And we'll target exactly the people that we would like to sell their stuff, the average family.
Yeah.
Okay, how are we doing for time? Oh, nearly been on an hour. Serious FOMO, yeah.
Well, this is it, isn't it? I think that you're particularly more FOMO than me.
Well, I just miss having a rummage and having a walk out for a day and finding some interesting bits. I'm still not desperate for stock. I really enjoyed clearing out. And if you saw a recent video, the office is quite sparse. The loft is still full or half full. But I just miss the buzz of picking up something cool and
and I have to say,
buying stuff, the just buying stuff. I don't know. I miss that element.
I have to say I'm there as well with it.
I don't think our government know what a reseller is.
No,
the taxman struggles to know.
That's true.
What a second-hand reseller, as we choose to do it, is. Yeah. Pleasant Valley Picker is surprised they're opening so soon.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. Very surprised.
I didn't see boot sales happening this year. And we said a couple of months ago, well, that's boot sales gone for the year. But apparently not. I think, you need to get onto eBay about that one, I think. Hi, Clive. Problem with seller account, I've paid the fees, but it won't. I assume you mean it won't let you carry on. Yeah, eBay is your only port of call there, I think. Okay, let's see if we've got any more comments or questions, and we'll think about wrapping this one up. Can you read that one out?
Yeah. Yes, people must adhere. They think it's over or something, but there's still thousands of new confirmed cases a day in the UK. Yes, absolutely. I know. There's so many people are wandering around like, oh, well, that's done then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be prepared for the government to rein in all of these relaxing of the restrictions when transfer or infection rates zoom up, if they do.
And I think we have to all be aware of that, and just in our everyday life, just be alert.
Stay alert.
Stay alert.
Yes, that's the government
for want of a better word. So they're saying that we can go to open air markets, which is a boot sale. So we will go and we will assess it and we will be sensible. Whereas there will be people that go and they won't be sensible because they won't care. So, you've just got to.
And there are a shocking amount of very not sensible people. We've got a neighbour who's been having friends around for parties since day one of this lockdown.
Oh, not just friends for parties, and not just family over every weekend, but workmen in and out. She's had her windows done, her guttering done, her garden done. She's over 70. She doesn't care. She's a one. She doesn't care.
But didn't she say, I don't care if I die, to you?
Not to me, just to the other neighbour.
Oh, to someone, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, each to their own, but yeah,
it's a head shaker. It really is.
Hi, Pete. Yes, really enjoyed that. Yeah, we'll have to do another one. Perhaps that could be something we can move around the channels as well and get different people involved with. But that was a good chat.
You didn't come across as nervous at all, Peter. Thought you did that very well, actually. Yeah. You came across natural, really natural, like you were in control of the chat. It was really good.
Good stuff. It's either going to be packed or deserted, or maybe, yeah.
I was just going to say about following on from our neighbour, her what do you call it, like umbrella thing,
parasol
flew up in the air and over the fence and into our garden today. Frightened the absolute life out of us. We were eating our dinner at the time.
It's a massive thing, like a sort of 2 meter wide parasol with a great big sort of 3-inch steel pole. Just the wind caught it and it lifted up and then plummeted into our garden. And Ellen, we were sitting having dinner around the table, and Ellen had a view out to the back garden. And she just screamed, scared the crap out of us. But what happened? What?
Yeah.
So I had to go out there and pass it back to her over the fence.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's just pick a few more to read out. You only have to look at the seaside pics on the media. So chuck a car boot into the middle of that and see what happens. Yeah, it may be absolute chaos. I have that fear of missing out. I don't want to go, but I must in case I miss that. Yeah, we all have a bit
I think that sums me up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's interesting, and that's kind of what I expected. A few people in the chat saying they're definitely going to go and see what it's like. That's kind of where we are. A few people definitely not going, which I totally understand and respect that. And what's that?
Your trolley will be a good social distance barrier.
Oh, yes. Our trolley, it's not been out. This thing, it's got dust on it. Look, it's got a layer of dust.
But will we look really stupid with a massive trolley
and nothing in it?
Turning up and there's like 3 stalls there?
It's literally caked in dust. Look, I'll set myself off with that.
Oh, you will.
That's not been out for so long.
I don't know if it's.
Oh, just back. Look, my screwdriver with the adjustable tip, that one that I really loved, was hiding underneath that. I wonder where that was. Ah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth taking that, really.
What? Oh, the trolley. Oh, you never know. Yes, it will be interesting to see everyone's experiences. So,
yeah.
Is it next week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we, at the moment, things might change. We are still thinking we're going to go. We'll probably go quite early and get in the queue, assuming there'll be a queue. And we'll try and make a little video of our experience and share that with you and give you our opinions on the Sunday, I expect.
Yeah.
You try and find another comment.
Mm. You can read them and I'll have
a lot of people have been giving stuff away, so stalls may not be worthwhile for many as sellers. Certainly a lot of people around here have been giving stuff away, yeah. Question, if you do go, would you film or ask for comments from stall holders and organisers just for more information about boot sales? I don't think I'd be comfortable asking people comments. I tend to just film what's going on. I don't ask people to interact with that because then I'd have to get their permission to put them on YouTube and it's a right faff. So I may have a few conversations, but I wouldn't air them publicly. Yeah. If you go to a boot sale wearing just a pink G-string and a pair of boots, people will naturally keep clear of you. Problem is, where do you store your change? Yeah, where would you store your change when you're wearing your G-string?
I won't be seen in that. I don't have one to be seen in.
G-string and a bum bag.
Yeah.
Right? Sorted.
What a look.
Or I could wear one of those mankinis like the Borat one. Mankini and a bum bag.
You could borrow Andrew's.
Borrow Andrew's. Oh, no, he's worn it. I'm not wearing... Oh.
Yeah, no sign of them opening in Wales yet.
Okay, nothing in Wales. Do you think common sense will ever come back? Have you seen my T-shirt? It says common sense should be called a superpower. Yeah. They're opening boot sales, but no pubs. More people will be at a car boot. I think the distinction there is that a pub is an inside space, and the general thinking is you're more at risk inside because the air can't circulate. I think, is that the difference? I'm not sure.
Possibly, we don't know.
I think Boris has been pushed into relaxing some restrictions a little too early.
I mean, like we've said before, I do feel it's a bit too soon for it all. You know, when you compare it to the way other countries have dealt with these things, but like we've said before, it's really difficult because they're in a difficult position of, you know, people are needing to earn money, and there are lots of people that are on the poverty line and they're suffering through this. I don't know. I wouldn't like to be in that position where I'd have to make the decisions. I don't agree with everything that Boris has done or that the government have put in place, and I do think it's too soon, but it's a difficult one. It really is.
Yeah. Best way to source media. Boot sales is a pretty good way to source media. Another one is Facebook. People do have big clear outs of CD collections and DVD collections. Just be aware, if you're new to media, most of it is not worth anything these days. Just be aware of that. Don't pay much for it.
Oh, didn't know that, Gary. So that's South Korea have now reclosed all their schools. Yeah, I think we're going to be dealing with this until we've got some kind of vaccination, or if ever. We're just going to keep dealing with it, aren't we?
Everyone will be selling face masks and gloves they couldn't sell on eBay. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Can you imagine if you get to a boot sale, you get in there and every stall is just selling like disinfectant, hand sanitizer, and gloves and face masks. That's all that's on offer. and a couple of stalls with fidget spinners.
Yeah, that really, Lisa, that should say Boris says stay alert.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle, for saying that. Michelle says, say thank you to Ellen for the links and showing she cares. Yes.
We will pass that on, Michelle.
She really is, you know, what's the word? Don't want to use alert again. Or aware.
Yeah. She's
very on the ball and she's very passionate about all these kind of causes, and yeah, I don't know how to articulate it really, but she's a person that is very mindful of things, and
she's very socially conscious and world conscious.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely.
I think I did read it, Michael. Did I not reply? I'm not sure I'm going to do any more of those horror story videos. I might do. I don't know. I'm on the fence about those. The last one was really well received, but I'm not sure how comfortable I am with the whole thing. So we are going to leave you shortly. Please check out the link below to our quiz channel. We will be live on there tomorrow at 8. So if you've not already subbed, please sub and come and join in. We'd love to see you over there. Yeah, and we will report back to you if we go to a boot sale next week, and we'll have a chat about it here next Sunday and see what we thought. And if any of you are going to go, please pop in and give us your thoughts and experiences, because it's going to be very interesting.
It certainly will be. And we will certainly, be taking lots of precautions. We'll be distancing. We will have our masks on. We will have hand sanitizer, and we will be quarantining our stock when we get home. So we'll be taking all the precautions that are possible to us.
Yes, we're still scrolling.
I'm just making sure that I haven't missed anything that we really should reply to. So.
We're so
most
far
people
behind.
Are saying goodbye. So,
okay.
Oh, Mark Tyler apparently is in Hitchin in the morning.
Oh, are you? Oh, well, okay. Is Hitchin boot sale open? I don't know if they even have a face, but I kind of don't really go to the Hitchin one much. I haven't really checked what other ones are open.
Yeah, and George has got a good point. It's not just about money, it's mental health as well. Yeah, and they're trying to balance all of that. I mean, there are so many people that just, like I was saying about my uncle, he's been on his own in lockdown for 10 weeks, and, he's desperate to see people and to get out and about. And there'll be so many people like that in that position.
I think you might be here quite a while trying to catch up in the
I
chat.
know, sorry. Oh, hang on. We can't go without Matt Walker's shout out of the week. It says, hi, Nick and Andrea. Could I please have a shout out to my wife, please? I'm back to work tomorrow for the first time in 10 weeks. Oh, wow. Hope you get on okay, Matt. It said it's going to be very strange, hoping for car boots to start soon. Yeah, well, good luck, and hi to you and Jem.
Yeah, best of luck with that. It's going to be odd for everyone getting back to some sort of normality, because we've all become acclimatized, right, to our new normal. And now getting back to regular stuff like going to boot sales, going to work is going to be full of anxiety. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, people are saying bye. Are we nearly at the end of the chat?
We're very nearly, but people keep talking to us. I'm scrolling at speed now. Hang on. It's a good job we didn't say goodbye. We have a super chat from Double Karma. Thank you, Double Karma. And yes, I did manage to get to Matt Walker's shout out. So thank you for that. And if I hadn't carried on scrolling, I wouldn't have got to it. So there we go.
We still have the issue that within StreamYard, it doesn't give you notifications of super chats. So
Neil says Hitchin Market is open, so the boot sale should start soon.
I've not noticed the market being open. I was down there on Friday. Perhaps they ended early, or there weren't many stalls. I didn't see anything open.
Yeah. So I think we're there. We're at the end.
Are we at the end? Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, everybody, please be sensible, stay safe, look after yourselves, and and all of that good stuff.
Oh, check out the words of wisdom. And yes, if you're not already a quiz player, you won't understand the reference, but get your postcards ready. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. We've still got over 500 people in, which is mind-blowing, really, that you want to spend your time with us. We will see you next week with a bit of a report on how we found the boot sale experience. Let us know what you found the experience to be, if you're going to go as well, and we'll see you then. All right, thanks for joining
apparently
us.
There was a super chat earlier on as well. I'm really sorry if we've missed that, and whoever sent it to us, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. So
sorry.
Yeah, sorry that we've missed it.
Okay. Stay safe. Stay sensible. That should be the new thing. Stay sensible.
Sensible.
And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.